Okay, continuation. Murder mystery of Christhoper in Central City. Um, so, okay, Christhoper, this is the victim that was murdered, took me to meet Diane in Bonanza, so I got hired to work. Like I said, we were all family. Leslie, his girlfriend, and Christhoper, and they became very good friends of mine. And then Leslie used to eat breakfast in the morning and here, there, and there. But once in a while, Christhoper, they were from Utah, but they were renting a home there in Central City and both working in Bonanza. So anyway, Christhoper used to come in early in the mornings at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. While I was already opening the kitchen. I was the first one to get the dining all prepared for the breakfast in Bonanza. You know what I mean? So, or lunch or whatever. So Christhoper used to come in the mornings, and I sensed that he had a need. He has emotional need. He would come to me and being very nice and talk to me and just being so friendly. And while I was working and doing my kitchen stuff there, I just kept talking to him. I didn't stop from working. I just kept talking to him. He was standing in there. I remember him standing in there talking to me, almost like if I was his mother. He told me, he said, I know that I heard that you have been a psychologist, or you study psychology and stuff like that. So he kind of wanted to find counseling with me. He also did the same thing with the manager, who was Diane. So Diane was my immediate boss. She was really, really like a reserved person, quiet and stuff like that. Not very open with me, of course, because she didn't know me yet. But anyway, Christhoper used to come and talk to me, this and that. Christhoper was so beautiful person. He was so handsome, and you could tell he was not a corrupted person. You know what I mean? And Leslie was all the time jealous, not with me, but with, some other girls. I mean, because he was so handsome. I mean, it was not his fault. Okay, I worked in there for a while, and one day they told me that my contract was over, so I had to, but I thought I was hoping they would renew it or let me stay, but it didn't work that way. I was told that, it's over, and thank you for working in here, this and that. And I was so upset because I said, no, looks like a firing, and I didn't know what was the cause. I was doing the best I could in the kitchen. I mean, I have people that see me working in kitchens and restaurants, and that I always got a good reputation of being a good, clean person, cooking and everything. But anyway, I don't know really what was the real reason until now. I don't know the real reason why they dismiss me. You know what I mean? Okay, so I made a mistake to tell Christhoper little secret stuff, like when I met Richard Jenny. Now, Richard Jenny was still alive back then. It was 2003. And stuff like that. So he knew I had a little bit of connection with Hollywood, this and that. I don't know what was going on in Bonanza, but something was a little bit strange there. Anyway, that day that I got fired, I would call that getting fired. Yeah, I went down to clock out, and when I clock out so hard because I was in tension. So what I'm gonna do? I don't have a job now. You know what I mean? So I just clock out so hard that the machine went and marked a lot of ones, right? They were like, I punched the car so hard. I was mad, and I just went out and I just punched it so hard. And then in the clocking out in the car, oh, a lot of ones went through it. I don't know what was that. But probably 21. I don't know what it was. And I said, woof, So anyway, I just left it there. So anyway, in 2 weeks, I had a phone call. And the phone call, it was really strange in my cellular. I left a message. And it said something like, I need to see you after a certain hour, this and that. I couldn't recognize the voice. And I always thought it was Christhoper calling my phone because he was disappointed that they told me not to work anymore, and I think it was him calling me. Something like after the girls get out of school or something. I don't know what it was, but I know they had my phone number in there, and he had it too. I really never knew who was this person to call. Right after that, I heard the news. This is very few days after I got fired from Bonanza. Christhoper was found dead with they said he took a rifle that is so long. I don't know how he could have done that. He put the rifle in his mouth and he blew his brains. Just like Richard Jennings' death. Richard Jennings' death was 4 years later, but it was with a pistol, the same way. So Christhoper from Utah, working in Bonanza Central City, has put a rifle. They say he put a rifle in his mouth and blew his brains off. Diane said she saw him when he was in the coffin when they were going to bury him. Now Leslie told me. Then Leslie became the administrator She went from being a waitress to being the administrator of Bonanza's office. I talked to Leslie afterwards, probably several years later, 2 years later, something like that. When I heard that stuff, I moved out of Central City. I did not want to live there. Now, I came back to live in Central City in year 2007. And that's when I met Rick and all the stuff going on in Central City with Rick and stuff. But anyway, I was shocked. It really shocked me. This is the first violent murder I see in the United States of somebody that I knew so close. Christhoper, I'm gonna have to stop here because it's getting too long.